A lot of professional help in the beginning, especially. ABA therapy has been a major help for us, going to those appointments, but then they also help put programs in place for you at home for goals to achieve. Now, and since then, speech therapy is another big thing with social groups. But around the home, we also use a lot of visual schedules and try to stick to a regular routine and use a lot of repetitive behaviour to learn. There are really like a heap of great learning apps available for iPads. So that's been another good way, because they tend to be more like visual learners, and using that technology has seemed to really help them. But definitely a lot of help. Yeah, I think, like anything, probably all kids are different, but our children in particular have really responded to that, especially when our daughter Maddie was nonverbal. There was an app that actually helped her to communicate and give her that voice. Since then, there's been other apps that have helped, grow with independence. They remind you, you've got to brush your teeth, and then you've got to get dressed, and then you've got to, put your shoes on. Like there's lots of, visual learning, assistance with those sort of things. So, in our experience, technology has been, really helpful.
What was the name of that app? The one you mentioned?
Proloquo, the one to help with speech.
Proloquo?
Proloquo.
Proloquo, okay.
Proloquo to go. Proloquo to go. Yeah. And the other, I could have a look at that other, what's that? ChoiceWorks is the other one that we've used recently to, help with their independence and routine and things like that as well. So ChoiceWorks was that other one.
ChoiceWorks, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you done so far to develop your child's social skills?
Yeah, so like I said, playing with things that they're really interested in. So we'll go for a scoot and we'll scoot with them. And now that, Thomas is more inclined to scoot with other kids. More recently we've engaged in the social groups with speech therapists and OTs, which is just a group of, say, 2 or 3 kids, and they help them like play games and learn rules of games and, help sort of interact like that in that sense. I would say definitely learning things in small groups, so say just with 2 or 3 kids, rather than, being too overwhelming in a big group in a sense like that. There can tend to be too much people and pressure, and so definitely smaller groups helps in that way. We've just bought a lot of board games, so that's going to be our school holiday fun, and learning turn taking, and that social interaction through board games like that. So definitely, trying to make it fun, and then just gradually, introducing, more people or different things.
Do you think that has made a big improvement? For example, if they start off with a smaller group, do you think that helps them to eventually work with a larger group?
Absolutely. Like for my daughter in dancing, we actually started her off just with a one-on-one class with the teacher, like an all abilities class. And then we just introduced another 2 kids to that. And now she is more comfortable, in say a group of 8, where, we just threw her into the deep end initially with, say 10 kids, and with noise and music and everything. It was just too overwhelming for her. So, there's also things you can use in different settings too if they need, the noise cancelling headphones, or make sure they've got their little fidgets and their little toys that help them to feel calm in those settings as well. So that will also help. And probably time too. So when they were littler and couldn't understand all those things, it was harder to try and do things socially. But as they've grown up now, it's a lot easier and they're a lot more comfortable, in their surroundings. Um, Daily ones would probably be, diet. They have a very limited diet. Sleep has been another major issue for us. They don't seem to ever get tired, so they go to bed really late. And then there was a stage where our daughter Maddie was just awake for hours on end, like nearly every night of the week. And we tried all the things like weighted blankets and lavender products and special lights and melatonin and you name it, we tried it. Nothing seemed to help her sleep. Then we got into the bad habit of her wanting to co-sleep with us because that is the only way that she or all of us would sleep. So we've thankfully just got her back in her own bed. But for say the last 7 to 8 years, we've really struggled to have a decent night's sleep on our own. So sleep can be a major factor with a lot of autism families, and so that's exhausting. You're trying to be upbeat and be patient and do everything you can to help your child, and you're already exhausted because you don't get a good night's sleep. So also, trying to fit everything in, all the appointments and all, the routines and the programs you have to run, all that can be really exhausting and emotional as well. And trying to find, the best things to actually help your child. Because as I said before, all children are different too. So what one works for one isn't necessarily going to work for the other. So it's finding really what fits for your child and your family. But yeah, just getting dressed and because Maddie hated clothes. So just trying to get in the car or go to the street when, every time we'd have an incident in the shopping centre. So yeah, like day-to-day life is generally very challenging all the time.